we can do a quick round. See how everyone's doing, what they're working on, intentions, distractions. Anyone would like to go first?
Go first.
Oh, there he is, the legend.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. There was a Bright ID call doing like the recap of their launch, and I couldn't get away. But intentions, distractions. Do you guys already start?
Mount Manu was just about to start.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fortune favors the bold, so here I go. Intentions, just put out there the new feedback that I got. Small, but consistent. Every week, getting some feedback, moving forward. Distractions, no distractions, and that's it. Those two things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll pass it to Nugget.
Yeah. Well, intentions just sync up, see how the rest is doing, and see if I can do anything else. And distractions, none. Well, I just arrived home like 2 minutes ago, so I'm kind of arriving still, but that's all. I'll pass it to Vitor.
Guys, yeah, like intentions are to show off like how we're going, or the expectations to finish the dashboard, and yeah, have no distractions. I'll pass to Pedro.
My intentions today are to show you guys the work that Fabio and I did on the last week, and to fix the last changes that Nugan made on the back end. My distractions is that my girlfriend is cooking right now, and the smell is very good, so probably I will have to leave a little bit to eat. And I will pass to Ilya.
Broke up there. Who did you say?
I will pass to Mataverde.
Mataverde.
Hey, my intentions are just to see Griff's smiling face in the morning. Just to show up and be here, be present, kind of catch up with what's going on. And my distractions are, as always, my own bad self, my triple mind, monkey. And Ivy, I'm going to pass it to Ivy.
Thanks, Mataverde. My intentions are to record this call because Zepti can't make it. So, and listen what you guys have been up to. I pass it to Griff.
Nice. My intentions for this call are just to catch up. I missed the Sunday hack session, which is just tragic, but and painful. So I'm really curious to see the progress and get the timing that Vitor already suggested, just the latest updates on that. And then I'll pass it to Lauren.
Yeah, my intentions are just to sync with everyone, and not very distracted, though sometimes it's like hard to share a computer. Like it's more efficient, but also confusing. I'll pass it to Mitch. Oh my God, also your shirt. Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God, he has a Gervs shirt.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Gervs.
What is that? I'm very distracted.
Yeah, we were having some fun with the printing machine last night.
Am I the only one who needs some context here, or?
I mean, I can go first.
No, you are not.
Name the distraction. So Griff did a presentation at the Taoist, and he couldn't find a name for this like giveth bonding curve thing, and so he ended up naming it Gervs, and he presented it, and it was like a terrible name, but it was hilarious, and so now it's stuck, and we've just been memeing the shit out of it in giveth, and then I printed a Gervs shirt.
That was even more permanent.
On a fucking hamburger. You would.
It's beautiful.
Well, everyone loves it, right?
It's frustrating to come up with good names and then not get the respect for it, Griff. I appreciate your position, and I think the names you come up with are brilliant, even though I sometimes argue against them because other people don't like them either. I like the names you come up with, just for the record.
By the way, Griff, this is just the beginning.
No. Mitch, don't do this to me. No. It's over. Everything else starts with give. You know, it's like give farm, give curation, give matching, give the Gervs. No, it's like no. Anyway, Mitch, do you have any intentions for the call?
Yes. I'd like to. I'd like to see where we're at with the dashboard. So how that's going. I raised a couple issues on the intro and learn modules. So it's like we can get that rolling so that user testing will be more effective for those parts. And how we can start getting the reward system on the radar for params after the dashboard. Distractions, just all your wonderful, beautiful faces. And I think that's did Pedro go? Pedro went already.
He did.
Yeah.
He's distracted by the delicious smells. Let's start off with the show and tell. That's always the funnest. Pedro, do you want to start us off?
Okay, no problem.
Oh wait, really quick, Pedro. Chewy, do you have any intentions or distractions for the call?
On the spot.
Yeah, right on the spot. Chewy, are you there? No, he's like, oh yeah.
You're like, fuck this. Okay. Okay.
When I came in, but I think I can see and hear everybody okay now.
Nice. Do you have any intentions for the call? Any agenda points to raise that I make sure we leave time for?
Just to think, see what's going on, and yeah, I might be a little bit distracted prepping some stuff for the comms working group call, but yeah, I wanted to see what's up in param.
Always good to see that profile pic. Okay, go for it, Pedro.
Okay, let me share my screen here. So basically this week, I will start showing Fabio's work, and then I will go to my part. But basically Fabio this week made a lot of effort on the GitHub issues, the learn and intro part. So let me start here. He added the headers here of the modules, and the dialogues that Mitch requested are here too. And then we have he already started doing some transitions. So we have a little fade-like transition when we jump between the modules, and we can click here on the taskbar to change between them. So it's really nice. And after that, he started the tutorial here, and we already have the next button here on the bottom, and we have a transition here too. It's really in a test phase, but same as the intro part, you can use the header here to change between the modules, and the test is out here, and we have the links too. We just have to sync the button with the next button here, the checkbox with the next button. And after that, we have some changes on the config part. So I already implemented the config button. So if we click here, we go to the learn part of related to this module. We have the new next button. I updated some infrastructure, some parts of the infrastructure of the front end to make this parameters here be available to all the applications. So if you change one of these parameters on the submit page, you see the changes on the charts on every other place that this parameter shows if you change the page. So if I'm the submit page, when I have a lot of parameters and I start changing everything, and I want to go back to this page and not look to the analytics part of that page, I can go back here and the parameters will be adjusted as I adjusted on the submit page. Just to show you guys, if we click here, we go to the learn page. So
Nice.
let me go back here. So we have the buttons here. This chart unfortunately will not appear for you guys because, as I said before, Dugan made some adjustments on the back end and I didn't sync yet. But this is the work that I plan to do today. And we can add steps here and everything else. And we have the other charts here too, the pie chart. Everything is already synced. And finally, we have the conviction voting. And let me see if I don't have the submit page here. But I have on another branch. Let me see if I just made a pull request for that. Oh, let me open a little. Oh, some work on the fly here, but not a problem.
I see that you added the confused things, and I put in a PR to add them, and then it looks like you made another one.
Yeah, unfortunately, the PR that you made, I just saw after I implemented that. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
But after I was checking your code, and unfortunately it was not running. But I can see, I can try to, I will see what you did to see if it's similar to what I did. And then we can merge both ideas to get the better of it.
The only difference I see is that when you click confused, it should open a new window so that the user doesn't lose their state.
Oh, you made a target blank. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. I will do the same thing here. Okay. I'm seeing if I'm just waiting the deploy preview here, but anyone has any questions regarding the config module and the intro and learn modules? Oh, I forgot to explain, but here we were having a problem with the chart, and we had small screens because the title here can be a little bit bigger than before, and you can see that the chart is moving to the bottom with a transition, so we can have something more user friendly during the configuration module process.
Mitch, are we going to get rid of these questions altogether, or?
Yeah, that was the other thing that I was hoping to talk to Pedro about, was moving, instead of having these ones that change with the questions based on our user feedback, we're better off just to make a static one that will be totally different.
Okay, so you're talking about some kind of title for the entire page, and we are not going to change it anymore. Okay, it's not a problem.
I have a copy for it already, and basically you just have to implement it.
Okay, if you pass me the new titles, I can implement it today. It's really simple to change that. Fabio is gonna be a little bit upset because he was really happy after he implemented the transition.
I know, I felt so bad. But everyone was saying that it was confusing, but like, you guys already wrote the code.
No problem. Let me see if the submit page is already here. Finally, we have the submit page, and we have all the parameters here. And I don't have the analytics part of it yet, but this is some work that I want to do today. And I have to talk with Vitor so we can integrate the backend that he made to open the issues with this page.
Amazing. So that's likely to be like, sorry. I'll let, any other questions for Vitor on the front end? Mitch, do you have anything?
No, but I think the changes that Pedro just put in are going to be great, because that means we can really start testing the intro and learn modules now that all the functionality is there.
Yeah, huge thanks to Fabio to work on that. I just remember right now, but I have to fix this table here. Vitor pointed to me yesterday that something is not going.
It's just a naming. It's just the name is inverted, like all the logic is correct.
Nice.
May I take on your? May I continue? Like, because my point is like exactly after yours.
No problem. I can pass to you, man. Go on.
Okay, yeah, like, just to complement what Pedro said, because like he's finishing the summary page, and then let me try to show my screen. I'm doing the backend, and like I created already. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, I created like 41 issues to test the bot, and it's everything working fine. So now when you open here, like the API, the front end, add like all of these values from the parameters input. So like all the inputs, etc., and then like it would get the model and generate all the tables that are in the front end. So like if you change something here, you change here exactly. Like in all the tables, all the outputs will be updated. And the only thing that is not the advanced setting as well. And the only thing that is left to do that I need to talk to Pedro is to integrate the images, because it's a little bit tricky, but we will find a way. But other than that, it's fine. It's out there. I just need to integrate, like, to add the text for strategy here as well. But the good part is that we will not have like a limitation for creating it. So like you can add like as much text you want in each part here. So yeah, that's it. Like all the model integrations working fine. Then you just need to add the image here, because you need a parallel paid API for that. But other than that, it's fine. And then you just integrate with Pedro. And then this need a little bit of, like, I think you'll need a few hours, because then we just need to do authentication to like just let the front end that's running there is applied create issues. We want to prevent like people just spamming issues from an endpoint, whatever, just to get sure that it's fine, and then like just test if you want. But then other than that, that's it. Like it's all working fine.
And how do you do the advanced parameters? That seems interesting.
They're here. And then you input them, and then like what I do is we have one endpoint for each model, but then these like I have one endpoint for tau voting, one for like token free token tau or ABC. But then in the advanced settings, when you change something, I actually have these endpoint that's issue generation, but I rerun everything, or rerun all the model outputs. So like if you add something like the rage quit here, that's from like the ABC, I just like rerun the ABC with the specific one. Because like these advanced settings, like they do not have an output for them, right? Like they impact other models. So then I just update that. And yeah, like and then what's left to do besides that is just integrate with the front end. Just like when I run it, after it generates the issue, I return the, let me just, I'm not sure if I'll be able to show, but I return like the link for the issue, and then if you worked or not. So like if you're in the website and then you click and it generates the issue, you say like, oh, congrats, you generated the issue. This is the link for you to look at. Then you click and you go there. So it's good because you can your issue. And then if something wrong happens and then just not work, then you have like a error message that will show that tell like why this happened, and then people will know if it worked or not. And yeah, that's it. And I think probably we'll have a presidential hack session with Pedro if I will be able to come to my house like tomorrow. So we'll probably go like never ending hack sessions. And yeah, that's it from my side. And I think like after you do that, people will be able to like vote.
One thing, Vitor, I see that this is probably my fault, is the image for module 1 has been updated. So I made a new one on the review Figma. And so basically just what we were saying about reversing it, flipping at 180.
Oh, no, but like the point is that like this image doesn't matter because we're not going to use it. It's just a placeholder because we're going to take a print for each one. But I get it. Like, but since we're going to get a print, like kind of a print screen from the front end, like if we just change the front end, like we change here automatically.
Yeah. Okay. Just one thing to be aware though, that this price floor graph, it is not going to be the one that we're going to show here.
Oh, yeah.
Because the one in the review is different from the one that we show in config 1.
Oh, yeah, got it. But yeah, okay. And then here, then we have the price floor token and percentage release. You keep both, right?
Yeah. So if this is the question, Vitor, is if what happens if we're going to show a different picture in the GitHub issue than is actually on the dashboard?
No, there's no problem because you're gonna show what you're saying is that you want to show here not the price floor but the token release, right?
Yeah.
But then, but like we can generate these as elsewhere. I think that's not a problem. Like we're gonna show the token release in the advanced section, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so then there's not a problem. Like we choose what to show here. It's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And then all it is basically like the y-axis is changed, and then the graph is literally just flipped, mirrored.
Yeah. And then as you can see here, it is old ones because it's just print. But then, like, if you want to change something here, you just like change in the front end, then it will change here because the front end is exporting to here. And yeah, that's it. And there's one more thing that we need to do is that, like, for my proposal, we need to parse the parameters here that we're not parsing. But then I need to talk to Pedro to integrate this as well. But like once we find a way to do the image, we do everything all together. So probably tomorrow we finish that as well. And yeah, that's it from my side. I think after I have these, and then we can be functional, so people can like play and create issues, and probably have more points of feedback on that, like change small things to change, etc.
So I just want to confirm, because I couldn't really feel it like confident that this makes sense. But so even though that we're not going to have the price floor graph in the dashboard, it will be easy. It'll be easy to add it into this GitHub issue.
Yeah. Like it will be the same complexity of adding other charts. Like
but like, because these charts are actually screenshots of the dashboard, right? Like you're somehow just taking a picture of the dashboard.
Yeah.
Or are you auto-generating them?
No, generating them. Like what we did in the other one is that we generate the HTML for it, and then you use an API that you just like add convert this HTML to an image, and then you host this image in the cloud, and then you just get the link. So in the end, what we do here is like hedge parameters. You can like you just have a link, like you serve it, such as in GitHub. I think like this one you can see it like in here, like these is just a link for the actual image that is hosted in the cloud, so it's not going to be a problem.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and that's it from my side. I'm not sure if you guys have any question on that side.
Yeah, does anyone want to make any comments on the GitHub issue submission? Okay, then let's keep the party moving. Let's see. There was actually one thing Pedro mentioned was fixing the last changes Nuggin made. Nuggin, Pedro, do you have anything you need to sync on really quick?
I think not, right, Pedro? Like it's minor stuff. It's just that the output is slightly changed. I was giving a list, now I give just the JSON directly, so it's small stuff actually, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll just make sure that this called that if Pedro gets back, just he can confirm. The other one that was off of this is timing. So Vitor, you said that you're gonna lock Fabio and Pedro in your house for an evening or until something. What do you think is gonna be demoed on Thursday?
Yeah, like I hope I can lock them as much time as needed, that we can integrate the issue generation, because I think it's the most like sensible part for like showing it functional. So like what I hope we can do is like I'm sure we can do is that we integrate the issue generation, and then like on Thursday, and we can clean up all the issues that I showed there, and then on Thursday like we can enable people to go there, set their parameters, and generate their issues. Probably like there will be a few fields that will not be like fields that you can set up your, or like you have a handle, whatever, that we did not define yet, but like people will be able to create their proposals, etc., with all the correct inputs and outputs and prints, etc., and then people can play with. And yeah, I think that's the goal. Like one thing that might not happen is like the print itself might not work because we got to have a paid API, etc. And I got to check out how like it works. But like in the worst case scenario, we'll just like have the old print screen, but then the data in the tables will be correct because this is already working. So like I think this is the least scenario. Like we can do this like today already. So like this is the worst case scenario. Like everything will be working fine, just the prints will not be updated.
That sounds fantastic. What I would say is, if that's the case, just add something there that says this picture is not correct.
Yeah.
To do fix or something like that. To do fix this picture so it works. Just so that otherwise they're just gonna complain. So let's head them up at the if we end up with that MVP space. Yeah. Oh, Pedro, did you have something to say?
Oh, I just saying that I'm back. Victor, you were talking about the pictures on the issues. Yeah, so I was just searching about that yesterday, and it's not difficult to send you the picture. I don't know if you can, like, if someone tried to update the issue, they would just have to take a new print screen by themselves.
No. Like if you can, like we already did this. Like there's an API that do this. Like you can like send the HTML of the chart as a parameter of an API push, and then you just need to do that. Like if you can export as an HTML, that's all I need. Then I can like get then I get export to the cloud, and then I just have a link to the file server in the cloud that gets the image and renders in GitHub. I think it's simple, right, to export the chart as like an HTML?
Yes, it is. No problem.
Awesome.
And Pedro, did you have anything you needed to sync with Nugget on for that backend fix?
I just sent him a message because I came back when he was finishing his show up, but I just need him for an example of the input of the API so I can match to see if I'm sending everything right. Besides that, I don't need anything.
Just sorry, I'll send you something.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So then, okay, and then how does it look, Vitor? Is there do you foresee any other big blockers on the timing? Like, do you think that I imagine that we will have people submitting issues this week, but not like, it'll be like a test run and like, hey, practice picking parameters, guys, have some fun with it. Get a head start on everyone else. If you want to be cool, you'll have a week head start on picking parameters over anybody else if you try now. I'll sell it or whatever. And then when do you think we would want to start actually choosing parameters?
Yeah, like I think it makes sense. Like I think we can do like this Thursday, let people start to play with, and then like next week maybe, because then I think it's nice to have at least a week so people play with, at least 3 people get used with it, and like not in the real case scenario, and then we just monitor that and get sure that everything works as planned. There's no big issue, and then we just fix if there's anything else, just more have a more safe environment before launching it. Yeah, because then if people keep testing issues, etc., and then they find something, we can quickly fix it, and I think we'll be like less prone to errors later. I think that's a good plan.
Okay, so do you think we can have it out by the 14th or 13th, whatever that is, like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's more than enough time. Like I think we had a few problems before, but I think they are like that took a little bit late. But I think they were more like integration problems. But now that it's like everything working fine, the biggest parts are out. Like I think we'll be pretty fine.
Okay, sweet. That's amazing. I will pass those internal timelines along.
Adding to that, since we're going to be actually getting users testing, I know we brought up a couple times like doing a recording, either just an audio or a video or something like that. And I remember Manu was fairly interested in doing something like that.
Yeah, I can do that.
45-second audio recording, like how to use this thing, and then we can just embed it because I'm sure like that's going to be our biggest feedback.
Yeah, sure.
And that's probably very easy to implement.
Would it just be the learning, the reading the learning module, basically?
I would think more the config module, like what order do they need to do things?
What order do they need to config the, like, picking parameters and showing?
Yeah, because we just give them the thing, and then it's like, okay, what should they be looking at? And it's like, okay, here's your parameters. Da-da-da, look at the chart. This chart represents X. Look at the table. This is what? And then, you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that would be, that sounds like a video, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to really. Or you think, click, oh, okay, go and click this thing and try to describe it, and then tell them, look at the table, see how the table changed, that sort of thing?
I know we brought it up a couple times, like in some way, some form, adding audio or video to these things.
I remember there being a conversation that seemed pretty solid about making the Learn module have like audio so people can just hit play and listen, because people don't read. And that was one thing.
Okay.
Another thing is how-to video, but I would wait to do any video and really even any audio describing the modules until we understand how to use this thing, because I don't think anyone knows how to use this thing right now. I sure as hell don't fucking know how to use this thing. Mitch, you might. Vitor, you guys might. Nugget, I don't know. You guys all might. I have no clue. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, oh man, interesting. And I think we're going to end up changing some things. Like, I bet we end up changing some things and streamlining things in the next two. Yeah.
Yeah, now one thing that you can do is maybe like once you do that, you can make a call like to explain password things, and then people take the doubts, and then you can record these and let it available. Maybe I'm not sure like how many people will like watch it later.
Yeah, I think we do some param parties and see what goes on first before we make a video. Honestly.
Okay.
But we have 2 weeks, so maybe since if Vitor gets the GitHub issue out, that will feel really fucking real, and people will be like, oh, I can submit this and remember what parameters I picked, you know, and it'll be like, it won't be a waste of time to just play, and I think we'll get a lot of people playing, and then maybe the next week, so not the next 9 days, but after these 9 days, we make a video.
Okay. So then are we saying at this point then we're good to make an audio recording of the Learn modules?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know who wants to read it. Mitch, you wrote it. You could read it if you'd like.
I could. Bowen's good.
Yeah.
I know Mount Manu was pretty enthusiastic about it as well. So, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm open. Maybe Mitch, you and Mount Manu can figure it out between the two, and then if you want the Bowen silky radio voice, he's always down.
Pass him the copy. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then in terms of like implementation, like for you guys, like do you just basically upload like an MP3 file into the front end?
That's pretty simple. Like I'd say, I think you did great guy to say that.
Yeah, I never did that, but I don't think that is a problem. We can upload that probably close to the card, a little bit on the above, or even on the Learn page. Yeah, it's doable.
Okay.
It's completely doable.
Yeah, it could be confused, you know, and then like listen here, read here. You know, it could be like they could have both options on the module or something.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Read audio, I don't know, something like that.
We'll figure it out.
And then for sure on the Learn page, just like, you know, one of those classic players where it's very obvious, oh, there's audio. Okay. Or like, I see these news articles sometimes where it's like, listen to this article, you know, and there's like,
Okay. Cool.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Mitch, for taking on ownership of this bad boy, of these two. these two things. Okay, issues on learn modules. This was something, Mitch, I think you put that up.
Yeah, it looks like Pedro resolved most of them.
Okay, so no comments on that topic. I can just keep going.
I think so. There was 3 issues, and I think Pedro resolved them all. So I think it's fine.
Okay, perfect. Well then, let's throw it to Mount Manu for user testing feedback.
Very cool. Yeah, so check. Okay. So the feedback this week, it's mainly aesthetic. I guess it always is, because it's people are looking at it and they still don't know how to use it. But in here, it was brought to my attention that we only can exit here if we click on close, and people want to exit like when they click like outside the actual, bar. So that little thing. And then again, our reiteration of what was said last week, that people are confused by these 6 scenarios, and also the fact that it looks weird that there's a big white space here. So it was suggested that this 6 scenario table was expanded, and also there's enough space for it not to take into for each line here, not to be like 2 lines, right? So again, little things. People just want to give feedback on these things. Yeah, so like snapshot, having the proposal description listed. Again, it's on the Figma, and I know it's in the works. I showed them the Figma later, and they were like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about." So I guess we read their mind on that one, anticipated that. Yeah, readability issue in running text with the type of font that has been used. Just changing the font. Also,
really quick, I don't think I understand the snapshot thing. So like snapshot having the full description there. What do you mean?
Okay. I think that what they meant is on the Figma, like where you have like, they're talking about like the summary we have, the configuration summary, and having that on the website. So that type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, they want the summary page. Okay.
Yes, the summary page. Okay. Yeah, and also the logo here on the upper left corner. It's suggested by a UI UX designer that it would be better if it were just the logo without the green, square background. And if it would be like just the PNG of the logo. And yeah, that the full width utilization suggested for the screen having larger resolutions. Again, the same thing that from the past user, that this table can be expanded, it would look better. And the background can have proper pattern right now. It is having different patterns on left and right side of the screens. So yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Amazing. Pedro, Vitor, how do you think do you want these as GitHub issues, one GitHub issue, or how do you want these to be tracked?
Probably for the best if the issues that are similar, the problems or the feedbacks that are similar are created as one issue. And then we can have like issues that are bigger but with more content, and we can focus on each one. And we can prioritize the most important ones, and then we can focus on that. But if we create issues for all the small things, probably you're gonna have we have a bunch of issues and we lost focus.
Yeah, they're all design concerns. It's not functionality at all.
Yeah, and on that side, like we were following, I think, a workflow, at least for like to manage the product in a high level, that I think we're more like coordinated. That like we usually first change this in the design, like in the Figma design, and then like we implement it, because otherwise we'll have like implementation in the front end. There's like more design issue that like is done in Figma, and then like there are like inconsistencies, and then people don't know like which is the correct one. So I suggest do first in Figma, but I know that I think if we don't have like design power for that right now, if Marcus out and there's no one else, I think it's fine to do first in the front end. But I'd say it's a good practice to keep the Figma ahead of the front end, and if we do that, then we just have to update the Figma later. I think just for consistency.
Yeah. Okay, understood. So I'll open a note on Figma of the feedback, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff like changing the logo background color and stuff, like I could do that, no problem. It's just like we just want to get this MVP out the door, you know. So this like changing the background color of the logo is like way off the radar for now, I would say.
Yeah.
I did have some quick.
I do
ahead,
just
Griff.
on those things. I really just want to echo what Mitch said. Like, and I think Vitor already has it in his mind. But prioritizing major milestones over small changes for this stage, and just let the small changes accumulate, and then.
Yeah, I did have a quick thought though regarding your comments about the blank space there. If we had that parameter card be fixed. Same with like the nav bar, so that it like scrolls as the user scrolls down, that might solve the issue. If that makes sense.
Who are you addressing the comment to? Vitor? Pedro?
I mean, it would be a front end thing, right? So you're just changing the display type in the CSS or whatever, so that it moves as the user scrolls.
The actual parameter bar.
Yeah, that little card there. So when they're scrolling down and they're looking at the table, the params stay fixed with their screen position.
Oh, okay.
But small
can
design thing.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that-
just a CSS property.
I think that can work for the conviction voting one, but for some of them,
They're
the
too long.
bar is too long. Yeah.
Yeah, Tau voting is like, no, it's going to be too big.
Yeah. Dow voting.
Tau voting.
No, Taoism. Sorry, have to. Well, at least it is this week still. We'll see.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Manu, did you have any more? Do you have any more comments on user testing?
That's it. Just if there's a more specific, like a frame for me to hand over to the users and say, hey, focus on functionality, because we're getting like these types of like small things. I feel people want to contribute. They still are not sure on how to move the parameters and stuff, so they're giving whatever feedback. And all of these, it aggregates, like the small things, they aggregate into something substantial after many weeks. But if Mitch, if there's like a specific thing that tell them, hey, play with it, and we want to focus on functionality and that type of thing, then I'll let them know, so that the feedback can go into the priorities that we're aiming at.
So the intro and learn modules, like now that they work, it's like just like reading that copy there and like pointing out any parts that don't make sense.
Yeah, maybe especially if we want to record that. Like once we record it, it really sucks to change it. We don't want to change it. So like I don't know if we just need to copy paste it into a Google Doc or something that's more editable, so people can just make feedback changes directly in the text. Would be really, really valuable. And just be like, because I at least for the next 2 days for sure, that's the only thing that should be tested. You know, like, and I don't know, I haven't seen anyone give feedback on it yet. Have you seen anyone give feedback on the text, Mitch?
We had comments on it like a month ago or something, but not since.
So yeah, that's where we really need the support. We need normal people reading that text and saying this doesn't make sense and highlighting it, because I guarantee in each one there's at least 2 places where it doesn't make sense. And then if we record it and like, oh hey, we're making these changes because no one gets this part, it's like, oh well, let's re-record it then, and it will just be in this loop of re-recording. That would suck. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the agenda is finished because I have something else that I'd like to.
Well, the last thing was this somewhat off-topic reward system for params.
Yes. Yeah. So we had a sync last couple of days with Christopher and Livy, and we're going to need front-end and back-end developers to build this new reward system. And so I think we talked about a little bit in General Magic as well, like this kind of being, I see this as the next project, like, and maybe Griff can speak to that, but like we're going to need the people that are working on the dashboard to like transition once it's done to building this thing, which is going to be our reward system. And so with that, there was lots of discussion about building it in Java. And there's a guy that really wants to build it in Java, and he's like totally gung-ho, but then the problem is that nobody else will likely be able to use it or to build on top of it.
I haven't heard of anyone building in Vitor, have you ever heard of anyone building in Java? I haven't heard it.
It's doable, but like it doesn't fit our current stack. Like I think it makes sense, like if it's going to maintain this, but like we're using like React and like Next.js for like for front end, and like JavaScript or Python for the back end. I think like can do it, but I'm not sure how to use it.
Is this Rudolph?
Specifically for the back end.
Yeah.
Rudolph wants to use Java and Spring for the back end because he has experience with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And like specifically for the reward system is like not that much of a rocket science that we need something complex.
Yeah, the problem is that just like the usability. So if we want to build something that's going to be really cool that we can like implement in other orgs, like Giveth, for example, like making code that people iterate on is going to be extremely useful. So if we build it in Java, and then this guy moves on to other projects and nobody understands how to maintain it, then like that's not very useful.
So I've been headhunting for different DAOs and stuff, and I have never even heard of anybody even mentioning Java in this context ever. And I would have to say it's a hard no. You have to use a language people know and use.
It's like the 90s boy band of programming languages.
Seriously. I don't know if you guys remember NXT. It was like a very old crypto, like before Ethereum. That was like a 2.0, like Ethereum-like thing that was all built in Java. Do you remember that? Do you hear about it? No, I don't think so. So I don't think this is the way.
Yeah, maybe I can add there because I just talked with Christopher just today about it a bit. What I got from him, and which I think is also a good idea, was more like that maybe since we want to have an MVP running as fast as possible, so we can kind of iterate on that to kind of use this solution that this guy thinks he can do pretty fast and reliably, and then once we have that working, we kind of see how the system works. Try to move into something which is 100% Web3, like Ceramic Network, or Christopher thought also Dfinity and the Internet Computer stuff. So to kind of move it that way and just use the Java for this first get something running situation. So that. Oh, and Mitch, there is some React dev who kind of pinged Christopher who wants to join. Also, that's also new info.
Okay. Well, I mean, go ahead, Griff.
No, you first.
I'm hesitant to build something twice, you know. But the main thing that I just wanted to bring up in this discussion is like maybe to Griff, since he's here in the room, about like looking for this working group going forward. How do we want to allocate the resources, and does this seem aligned with what we want to build?
This is exactly what I was gonna say. Is that there's this other thing going on? I don't know if you guys remember, this thing that might need a little bit of support, and so we might there might be a little bit of a push to support the Give token launch this next month. So that'll probably be a little bit higher of a priority than. I mean, Nuggin is all in on the reward system, and obviously there'll be a lot of resources. And if there's a very specific need, then sure. But I mean, Giveth has a lot of great devs, so we're good there for sure. But I think that will end up being the top priority over the reward system. That doesn't mean that there won't be resources there, though.
Yeah, the thing is like we need resources for this, and there's only X amount of devs. So it's like, do we send devs that are supposed to be working on TEC to go work on Giveth? Like, are we creating a conflict there?
That's the thing, is that I actually think the reward system has an easier chance of getting dev support from outside of this circle. Like there's a React dev that's messaging. Like there's lots of groups looking at the reward system that we can like pull from. But like who wants to help implement givebacks? It'll only be from our circle. So we'll see. I'll talk to Christopher too and see exactly what he needs. And I don't think it'll be that hard. I think that we have enough support to do both projects.
Okay.
But I'll also talk. It also depends on what people want to work on, right? If Fabio comes out and he's like, I don't care about Giveth, I want to work on reward system, then that's what it is. But I'll have all those calls this week. Well, with that, I think that's our last point. Does anyone have any final thoughts or concepts that they want to bring out? Does anyone have any? Is anyone interested in helping out with reviewing the Learn modules?
Is that something I'd be able to do? I mean, like
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down. Hit me up.
Nice.
Yep.
I'll message you.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to just put that in a Google Doc, Mount Manu. I think that might be the easiest way to get people to edit it.
Okay.
Benoit, I see you here. Did you get a chance to look at the Learn modules?
Yeah, I did. I did some. There was one thing that wasn't working on the new version. Is on the explanations, the text appears to be transparent on a white background, so you can't see the text when using the Brave browser. So I already told the thing to Mitch on last Sunday. Otherwise, on the curve and how it reacts to different parameters, I'm still figuring out how it can make sense overall. So even though I have read everything, all the text that explains the different parameters, which I individually all understand, but now I'm a bit lost with the final tool. I suppose that with more practice, I will understand.
Cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, especially the editing the text. I mean, thank you for finding the white transparent background. That's pretty awesome. and reporting the issue. Yeah, the text. Mount Manu, what do you think? What's the way going forward to get the Learn module edited?
Yeah, I like the Google Docs idea. I think that would work, and yeah, I'll start pushing it on user testing. And also, you said the video tutorial for the configuration module, not yet, but the audio recording for the configuration module, yes, yet, right?
Wait until we get people to edit it, like to read it and figure out the parts they're missing.
Got it.
Because otherwise you might have to do it twice, which would suck.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Well, I have a habit of ending these calls early. There's 60 seconds left. I'll take it. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you at the comms call.
Well played.
Don't forget about Gervs, guys. Gervs are number one. Gervs.